Hey there, good man fam, and welcome new viewers to another episode of the Female Guessing Game. Now, the way this game works is that I'll review a video that has a single female in it or multiple females in it. But here's the catch. When it's a single female, I'll be asking you if she's a traditional woman, or modern female. However, when it's multiple females in the video, you won't know about which female I'm asking you until the end of the video. So, you have to stay to the end of the video to see about which female I'm asking you is a traditional woman, or modern female. Ready? Let's get it.
Yes, but social media star and feminism critic Pearl Davis thinks female appointments are often more political than earned, and they both join us now. Good morning to you, Pearl. What's wrong with this?
Well, I would say the issue you have in women's sports is it becomes a political agenda rather than giving the best person that is there for the job. And that is my issue, is when it becomes, really, I don't even think it matters if it's man or woman. I think it is the most competent person for the job. Why do we keep going back to a female manager, a female manager? It should just be the best manager for the job.
Okay, I partially agree with what she's saying. The part with which I disagree is that it should just be the best person for the job as far as competency wise. Because I'm going to tell you something, and guys will tell you this, and we kind of keep this to ourselves, but when it comes to things having to do with strength and speed, like sports, men don't want the coach to be a female. That's just what it is. Men don't want to be led into what they feel is battle by a female. Now, it's not that it's sexist or anything like that. It's just that because we're biologically built different, men want a guy because guys understand the physiology of men. Guys understand what it takes in order to get to a certain level when it comes to male physiology. And that's the thing. If a female is running something that deals with speed, that deals with strength and force, brute force, men are kind of looking at her like, I don't know if this is going to work. That's why the Marvel movies are having a problem, because the comic book genre is like 75% supported by men, and men like things that are like strong and powerful. But here's the problem. These Marvel movies shifted to a gynocentric direction where they had the females being the most powerful physically. And men are like, what the freak? Nah, that's not even real. We know that this is superhero movies, but you try to make it somehow seem like it could be real, but they're just not doing that. So I disagree with her on that point.
I totally agree with what Pearl's saying. It should go to whoever deserves the job, but I think the people that do make those appointments will look at it that way. I don't think anyone would appoint a female just for the sake of it.
Did she just say she doesn't think that they would appoint a female just for the sake of it? Listen, I'm not a person who's opposed to people being appointed because they don't get as many opportunities. I understand the history of this country when it comes to racism, things, and the whole nine. But the fact that you're saying that they don't appoint a female because she's a female, that is crazy. Now, I understand she might have qualities to do the job of that whole nine. But to act like her being female is not literally a reason, and a primary reason a lot of the times, why they would hire her is preposterous. Come on, man. You're being disingenuous right now. You're not being intellectually honest if you say some bull crap like that.
Megan, what's your take on whether women can... Do women have the same ability to lead a team? And particularly, I guess, when you're talking about leading a team of sort of young and, I suppose, a little bit bolshy men on a football team?
I mean, look, we know football has been a male-dominated sport for so long, and that, that should not be the case anymore. It should be equal.
You know, it kills me when females say that something should just not be the way it was before. It should now be equal. And they don't actually tell you what about the way it was before was wrong or bad. She just said it was dominated by men It shouldn't be that way anymore. But she never said why it was dominated by men. It's dominated by men because sports are usually based on what? Something physical. We're talking about body-wise. Now, of course, your mind comes into play, but your mind comes into play differently when it comes to different sports. Now, if a person wants to call chess a sport, well, guess what? Your physical body compared to your mental state is not going to be as important. But if you're talking about basketball, then it's going to be a combination of your mental and your physical, right? It's going to be a more closer combination towards 50-50. But if you're talking about football, whether you're talking about football over in the East where it's soccer, or football in the West where it's actually NFL, things like that, then you're talking about primarily physical. Because you can be one of the smartest players in the world, but if a dude just can run over you, it's like, what are you going to do about that? I just saw this video of this guy who was this NFL player's, I don't know if he was his friend, it looked like it, but him and that NFL player, he decided to get on the line to kind of scare the NFL player by doing a prank. And the prank was going to be when the NFL player hit him, he was going to act like he was passed out. Well, I'm watching this video, and this NFL player was on the defense. And so the guy was trying to get by him, and the guy could not get by him. He couldn't literally get off the line. Then they switched and put the NFL running back on offense and put the guy on defense. And the guy grabbed the ball and took one step. He didn't run, he took a step, and then he took off and took like 2 steps and ran through the guy. I mean, literally like boom, the guy hit the ground. He just kept going. And then the guy was just laid out. He was just laid out. Again, he was acting. But the NFL player was like, oh, he's playing, and walked up to him and was like, yo. He grabbed him. He started worrying like, man, did I just crushed this guy's sternum or something? Then the guy woke up and started playing and laughing or whatever. But it's a physical thing with that. It's just amazing how these females, I don't know what it is, man. They just don't tend to think about everything holistically. It's crazy.
I don't need no man.
Obviously, there's going to be different challenges when it comes to managing a men's team to a women's team. Yes, you're going to have the men want to make a name for themselves individually as well as a team. So you have got to manage those, those different attitudes in the team. But there isn't any reason that people like Serena Wiegman or Emma Hayes or other women managers, there's no reason they can't do that.
Well, I just think if women were so good at managing a team, they would be better at managing their league. I mean, women, by and large, women's leagues are not profitable. Women's leagues do not make money. So how are we going to say we are so great and amazing and awesome at managing a team when we can't even manage our own league? The majority of women's leagues really are subsidized by the men.
Ooh, Pearl, you can't be spitting bars like that. You'll get kicked off of YouTube or something. Oh, wait. Right. You can't be this honest in public, because when you're this honest specifically about something where people have been pushing up for years, talking about females are the greatest and all of this stuff, you're going to have a problem because they're not used to hearing the truth. I equate this to a little brother always talking about he can beat up his big brother, and he's always attacking his big brother. But his big brother never does nothing. His big brother just covers up. And then the little brother goes around telling everybody that they can beat them up. I can beat up my big brother. I do it all the time. And the big brother's sitting there like, you don't actually beat me up. I just let you hit on me. That's how it is with this male-female thing when it comes to these sports. What Pearl just said is right. If you were so good, then you would be being picked. That's what happens the vast majority of the time. Sometimes, like I said, a person picks a female because she's a female, but most of the time people pick the person who's the best person for the job. But for some reason, females are like, I don't care if I'm the best person for the job. Pick me just so it can be so-called equal. Stupid.
I don't need no man.
I think the WSL is creating so much revenue at the minute, and even women's football in America is, really equal to the men's game as well. I think
it's not equal at all.
It's making
if
a
you look at
ridiculous
profits,
amount.
it's not even close. It's not equal.
But in terms of the people that are watching the game and, you know, spending money on the game, you know, it's making so much money to what it was, you know, even 5 years ago. And I don't see that there's any issue.
Do you see what she just did? You see what she just did? She just shifted the argument. The argument was that the game was as good as the men's. Then when Pearl hit her with that's not even close to true. Then she was like, well, the people who are watching, it's better than it was before. So it went from it's equal, just as good, to, well, it's better than what it used to be. But she didn't say, let me amend my statement. You're correct. And then go ahead. She just act like she didn't just say what she said. What did I tell you all about language shifting? What did I tell you about how females move the field of battle onto a field of battle in which they think they can win? This is a prime example of that.
We need competent people. There is a shortage of competent people in the world. If you are competent, you will get the role. And women want special handouts and treatments. And we're even doing a whole segment on female managers. What does that tell us? That we're not competent enough in general to get the roles.
I think obviously we know that the men's game in football and in other sports do produce more revenue, but that doesn't mean the women's game doesn't produce revenue.
See what she just did there again? She just shifted the conversation again. She keeps moving the field of battle, trying to find a field on which she thinks she can win. Now it's, well, they produce revenue, but that doesn't mean that we don't produce revenue. Who said y'all didn't produce revenue? Well, I mean, it's better than what it used to be. Who said it wasn't better than what it used to be? That wasn't the original argument. See, this is what these females do a lot of times. You find a lot of females who do this. And it's just amazing to me how they literally get brought on these shows to talk about this stuff, because these shows understand that if you say something bad about males, males are not going to go on your channel and report. Males are going to go on your channel and defend. They're going to go in the comments and say, this is bullcrap, blah, 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 blah. But females are going to go on your channel and click report your channel for hate speech, anything else. They'll do that. And see, this is why they bring individuals on who talk about this bullcrap, because they know that it's going to get less pushback than if they came on talking about how awesome men were. Unbefreaking-leavable. Now, remember, this is the female guessing game. So out of all of these females you've seen, about which one do you think I'm about to ask you all? Drum roll, please. So, tell me, this female that you see on the screen, is she a traditional woman, modern woman, or modern female? Put it in the comment section and tell me why you think so. And then grab yourself some merch on the way out in order to support the channel. And, of course, don't forget to click like and subscribe. Thanks, good man fam.